Yeah, we'll get to that right now. Okay, so that's our non-spoiler review.
Go
okay.
see it. It's great.
Go see it. All right, now we're entering spoiler territory. You have been warned. If you have not seen the movie, go watch it. Come back, listen to our spoiler review. Let's get into it. Okay, let's just get the bad stuff out of the way because I'm interested in talking about that.
Jennifer, we were talking about her.
No, but honestly, I think it's specifically that scene with almost at the end of the movie where she's talking to them. First of all, one good thing, the danger room, very cool.
That was cool.
Cool.
Yeah. See the Sentinels come out. I'm like, yeah. I asked him like, what was that room called? Because I remember seeing it in like
danger
the cartoons
room,
and stuff.
Yeah. But that speech at the end was just brutal.
We're X-Men.
It's brutal.
Yeah,
just brutal. Good. But she did it. I mean, I get her. Maybe her character is kind of this, like, she talks about, like, I'm just fighting for me. Like, I don't really care. I'm not a hero.
And she does turn into a bad guy.
Right.
But it was kind of cool that she had the Mystique costume.
Yeah.
At the end. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, she had
the skull, but yeah, it's like the white and the blue.
What did you not like? What are some of the things that you didn't like?
I did not like one that Jubilee was not
completely.
Oh my god! In the trailer, I'm like, she's got the yellow jacket and everything.
What a complete tease.
Do anything. Like, you did it exactly the same way they did it in X-Men 1. That was disappointing.
At least she did fireworks in somebody's hand or something.
Yeah,
like
she did. I thought
she did the power.
I was like, oh, they're gonna actually bring her into this because she was a big deal about her jacket and all this stuff. I was excited to see Jubilee, even though Jubilee's a horrible character.
Of course.
But it's fun because she can't do anything, but it's funny and like makes some blind somebody or something.
And she's not even
in the movie. I mean, it's her, but her name's not mentioned. It's
weird because I saw scenes. Maybe I'm forgetting, but I think I saw in the trailer a scene when they're in the mall. There is a scene in the mall. No, there is a scene in the mall and she's in it. But it's just so strange to waste that reveal and that tease for nothing. There's no.
Nothing.
No gold at the end of that rainbow.
No, not at all.
No, and I wasn't even thinking that there was. You know what I mean? Like, my expectations were so low that all I just wanted to see was fireworks shoot out of her hand.
Time.
Yeah, or like she walks up to an arcade machine and she hits it
up.
Yeah, or something silly, but it's just complete wasted. It's just like,
I don't understand why. Like,
it's just a fan
service. That's what you should do.
I know.
I don't understand.
I was hoping she was going to get, remember the intro? Da-na-na-na-na. She's up against the gate. I thought she was going to do that.
How great would that be?
I know. But they've already. This. We talked about this on the drive home too. They're running out of X-Men stories. Like, honestly, like the good ones, like the great staples. X-Men staples. They've done Apocalypse. They've done Days of Future Past. They've done the mutant registration thing. Like,
Old Man Logan is supposed to be the next Wolverine movie.
There's
no
way. I read those. There's no way they could do Old Man Logan.
Yeah.
There's no way because they don't own the properties to everything.
They're never like the exact. Look at Civil War.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, like, that. Old Man Logan was all about like fighting like Hulk and fighting.
Yeah, they can't get.
That's what I'm saying. They'll figure something else out.
There's the green big guy.
But speaking of big reveals that were kind of ruined, in the trailer it shows Wolverine
his claws.
Man, that was such a cool scene in the movie. The reveal of Weapon X.
Yeah,
I wish they didn't show the claws during the trailer, man, because that was a cool reveal. They released Weapon X. He's so like ragged, obviously like and more animalistic.
Yeah,
kind of like at the beginning of the first X-Men movie. Very cool. They kind of ruined it with the trailer, though. But
they show the claws. I didn't
little headset thing. Like, it's cool because that's Weapon X, but it did look kind of corny. It didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good.
They could have done a better headset thing. Like, I'm like, really? Like, sometimes I'm just like, really, guys? Like, who did you pass this by that said that's good? I don't know what that's about. Like, I'm happy to see Weapon X. It was a really cool scene. But yeah, they could have done a much better job with it. But yeah, I used to actually read all the like little Wolverine like novels when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
being an animal and like going and him like learning who he was and eventually going to Japan and that whole stuff.
So when she references like I've unlocked some memories of the past, what do we think she's talking about?
I think she just gave him his name.
Like, no, I think she remember. Yeah, because this is the problem with time travel and all the Days of Future Past. So what exists and what doesn't? Because when he goes back in Days of Future Past, Wolverine, Halle Berry's there, Marston is there. I
think he erases. I thought he just erases Last Stand.
Right, but this is she gave him 3 movies. She gave him so this is the problem. I mean, she knows his name's Logan, right?
Well, she pulled it out of his head.
Right, Jean Grey. So when he shows up, why isn't she like, "Oh my God, you were that guy"?
Well, she will. That hasn't happened.
I guess you're right. It's just the problem.
The first 3 movies don't exist in this timeline,
but they do. That the result of them happens. None of the first 3 movies happen.
No,
that's the same characters. Like you
I
said,
thought they just got rid of X3.
No, because you can't do that unless you went to like that point after in between X2 and X3.
Yeah,
he wiped it from the end of the 70s.
I guess, yeah, you're right.
And then so anything from that point on is going to be changed.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll do another intro.
Just redo them. Why not?
What if they redid them exactly?
Yeah, exactly. That'd be fine.
So at the end of Days of Futures Past, Stryker digs up Logan,
yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's still
And he's got
his
all the metal
bone
and crap
claws.
in him.
Yeah.
But he's still got bone claws. But does he not have adamantium at that point?
No,
No,
that's
that's why
the
he's got
Weapon
bone
X.
claws.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Weapon X program gave him
okay.
the antimantium, whatever the
Gotcha,
hell you
okay.
say that. But yeah, I loved that he was in it. It would have been great for them not to have revealed that. That was kind of a waste. Speaking of waste, Psylocke, complete waste.
Not
Like
just Psylocke, Angel, all the four
Storm?
horsemen other than Magneto.
Storm was the worst.
It's just
she
kind
was
of
super cool character
Yeah.
and everything. But
I love how she got her white hair.
Yeah,
very
no.
cool to explain
it
all
was
that.
cool to charge because she's one of the most powerful. Actually, him and Magneto, they're some of the most powerful mutants
Right,
at all.
and I
it
like
made
that.
sense.
Did you see
way
the
they
nod at the very
explained
end?
it.
They both look at each other like, "Yeah, we're gonna go at it one day.
Yeah,
like
we
we're
are.
both pretty powerful."
But they barely used Storm. I mean, she didn't do anything till the very end. Like she didn't do.
And Psylocke, she
even
cut
then,
that
didn't
car,
do
but that's
anything.
pretty much it. Had that stupid whip. That was dumb.
Psylocke, I actually thought they did a better job with her than any of the other horsemen.
But doesn't she have mind powers?
No, she can make telepathic
creates
blades.
telepathic,
Yeah.
weapons.
Oh,
She has
just the blade.
telekinesis, I think, to a certain extent,
Yeah, I
but
thought she
it's
did too.
but
Yeah, I don't know. It's always swords
but
and
generally, first of all, just her outfit is ridiculous because it's like
It's pulled right out of the comics, though.
I know it is,
was-
but it's
yeah,
like
I
it
liked
looks.
it.
I do too, but it looks well. There's lots of reasons. Living mud, come on. But it's kind of looks ridiculous next to everybody else's because everyone else kind of has this more modern look to them. Even Storm, because she had kind of like that goofy looking white cape with like the little, but she doesn't wear that. She wears a cool outfit, and then Psylocke's got this like leotard on. It just looks kind of striking when in a couple different ways.
In the beginning of the movie, when Apocalypse is recruiting his four horsemen, I'm just like, this is so dumb. So like, he goes up to somebody who's really powerful. I'm gonna make you even more powerful. Give Storm white hair. Next time we see her, she's got this cool sick armor. It's like, oh, so is he like?
No,
but then they show later he's building the armor. Like, okay, they explain it because I thought it was the dumbest thing. It's like, we're gonna find you a nice suit of purple and blue armor. Let's go to a store.
Go to the superhero store.
Also, like, whose power were they using to just like walk through space and time?
That's Apocalypse.
He can do that.
Remember,
Yeah.
he each mutant he takes the body of, he takes their power. So he has a crap ton of powers.
Yeah, they just
We don't even know.
That's convenient.
okay,
Remember,
So-
he has the power to move sand.
Sand. Yeah, I think that's his power. Is he controls sand.
Sandman. He's Sandman from
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 3. No, I did enjoy the beginning part. I actually liked the Apocalypse kind of trans.
You see them all old in the same armor and stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
looking.
I think they did as
People
good
had
as.
some cool powers.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I was like, let's go to
Except
that.
for like, okay, so the girl who wraps him in a cocoon to save him, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, you had that power the whole time? Like, why wouldn't you start wrapping all your friends in cocoons, like, immediately?
Just
like,
protect the-
right away.
She's saving her power for like the god.
And it should be like like in the airplane, they're like, fasten your own thing first, then do the child's. Like, wrap me in a cocoon, because I have the cocoon wrapping ability, and then wrap the others in cocoons, because I'm protected.
My thing is like, he's like,
Didn't
I've
have
been
planes
waiting.
back then, Dad.
I've been
Just
waiting
saying.
thousands of years to find someone that's like psychic, right? But it's like, we got two. There's Jean and Professor X. Like, you couldn't find any other psychic person back then.
No,
That's his powers.
exist.
They didn't exist.
I did enjoy that part of the movie where it was kind of this using him as the conduit to get to Cerebro to basically his whole
It's
point
kind
is
of
to be.
ham-fisted in there, though. Which
No,
is,
I actually enjoyed it. I liked it was omnipresent. This the only thing he doesn't have is the ability to control everyone's mind. Like Professor X, like as much as I think in the movies, because he's a very he's an introverted character. He's not an aggressor.
Right.
You never see the full.
Yeah, I think
like
he could just like kill everybody.
and, like-
he could just explode their brains.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what's you never see that. And I think this movie.
wasn't the plot of X2 as well? Like, didn't they inject that stuff in the Cerebro?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were trying to
They were trying to-
convince him to do stuff.
Yeah.
They were trying to convince him to find mutants. I think so they could.
Killed or track
like,
them
now
down.
concentrate on the
register.
humans and like think about it and kill them. I think
That's what Magneto was doing, trying to turn it.
Yeah.
But I liked that idea. If he's like, "Oh, you let me in," and of course, there's the reference later on where he's inside his head. But I think for Apocalypse, they did as good a job as they could. He looks similar.
No,
I mean,
he
this is a
doesn't.
pretty. No,
He's blue. He's
thought
not
they
as
did it-
beefcakey as like the normal Apocalypse you'd think of, which kind of sucks.
No,
He's not
at the
big
end,
in
he
size.
when he's inside his Professor
Yeah,
X's
but-
brain, he's
yeah, when
kind of
he's-
looks like. But
yeah,
that's
but he's
what
not
that's
in
what
the
he's not in
brain,
the
and
physical
he's
form.
holding Jean and Cyclops right here.
Yeah,
he's
I know.
not like that at all.
No, of course
Plus,
not.
he got no A on his belt. He needed the A on the belt.
Yeah, they went with the whole hieroglyphic stuff going on, which is cool. I liked.
Yeah, I
I liked.
liked
You know,
it
the
on that.
sun is what provides him. He's like, I am Ra. You know, like I liked all of that stuff. I enjoy kind of the mythos of
Or
Apocalypse.
think of that technology back in the Egyptian times, where you're going to use the sun beams and travels through fiber optics, and all. I'm just like,
Yeah,
I know, it's
no,
mutants,
and then
guys.
Yeah, and then
Come
the
on.
gold that would just like go. I was like, okay, I'm down with it all as it all flowed down, and then it just started flowing up. And I was
Oh, but
like,
you don't mind the chick that
okay.
puts people in cocoons.
No, she's
Okay.
a
no, I get their
mutant, bro.
superpowers, but it's like, does someone have the superpower of building this technology?
The
Some
funny,
super smart guy.
the funny thing that I saw, the first word of this movie is like sticking it to Marvel Cinematic Universe. The very first word out of this movie is mutants. It's like
Right.
you can't use it.
Enhanced individuals. Blah, blah, blah.
They're like mutants. Suck it. Okay, a couple things that do you have anything else you want to talk about that you didn't really enjoy? I think that's really probably, for me, that was pretty much it. I thought most of it was from there was pretty good. I thought Jennifer Lawrence was I thought
Angel was cool.
should have been used more.
Yeah.
Well, all those characters should be used. You just don't have time.
But yeah, we want a 6-hour movie.
Right. But I thought actually Angel was. I thought he was utilized pretty well.
But when he's like, I want to find the most powerful mutants, this guy can fly.
He could
This
fight-
girl can make
who-
blades.
Yeah, but it made thematic sense in the idea that there's basically a bounty hunter that, well, he's not a bounty hunter, but he's tracking down powerful mutants to like get them out of, I guess, pay them mercenaries to make them free, or I don't know what that guy's whole shtick was.
Yeah, that whole thing.
But at least that made sense. He was kind of an insider. He knew where mutants were. But it also kind of cuts against like, you're Apocalypse. Go figure it out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always that problem with like the all powerful being. It's like, oh, you need someone else's help. Like, how powerful are you? But
Okay, and one big negative thing. All right, Magneto, let's talk.
okay, here we go.
Are you good or bad? Because every single
That's
one
how
of these
he was in the
movies now,
comics.
it's like, he's bad, now he's good, now he's bad. He's so easily turned.
Yeah, he's got inner struggles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. I'm just like, figure out, man, are you bad or are you good?
But
and
I
I
mean,
get
in-
they have to do that in these movies.
Well,
but
that's
it's
how
just-
they have
it's
to
the
do
same
it.
thing in every movie. It's
I
just
betrayed
annoying.
them. I mean, it's,
I mean, the story behind him is him and Professor X were friends, and then they had a different looks at ideals and stuff, and they
Yeah,
split
but then they're
apart.
bad. Then he's bad. Not
Yeah.
like flip-flopping, flip-flop, flip-flop.
Yeah, but they join up to fight. The
they do that all the
comic
time in the
book.
comic
They-
books. It's when, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it comes up.
And Professor X is always like, "I know you're in there, my friend." You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
He never
doesn't
gets
want
mad
to-
at him. He's never like, "You're an asshole."
Right.
He's just like, "No, it's okay, non-violence." Like, but
It's like when those cops come, right? And it's like, he's got a family now. That's
Oh.
cool. And the cops come and like, they're like, no metal. All right. Well, what was their plan? Did they have like a whole route of non-metal lined up?
that's what I thought too. I was like, "Where are you going to bring him?"
Yeah, and that one guy with a bow and arrow,
that made sense.
and then
thematic.
stab both his daughter and mother
that
and
was-
kill him. It's like, oh.
I was-
I mean, I know we have to move the plot along. I get it, but it's just like, oh,
Yeah, you had to kill both of them. That was the only way it was going to work.
And I know.
That's why I told you this is a paint by numbers movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everything that you're like, that has to happen.
and it did happen.
But I will say that scene when he takes the
Is
locket
awesome.
is awesome, and he kills all those guys with the
it's like
locket.
the coin
It
thing
kind
in
of-
first class. you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
very-
it reminded me of the Guardians of the Galaxy with the little whistle thing that just like goes and just everybody just falls over.
Yeah, that was really cool. But I also liked the part when Apocalypse shows up at the metal plant or the schmelting plant,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Don't keep me from killing these people.
like-
Immediately just
He
kills
just
them
kills
all.
everybody. Okay, no problem.
Sucks them into the ground.
Sand. He's sand.
He has the power to control
I don't-
matter, Jordan, not just
It's
sand.
just sand.
Ground me out of sand. That's why I swallow. I control sand. Gotta be careful with sand. Don't stand on sand.
but
Probably glass too, 'cause it's like
Glass
made
and
from
sand. All powerful sand. Oh, it's in my eyes. It's so uncomfortable. It
day
gets
job
everywhere.
is that guy at the car wash is like, hey, you have some cracks in your front windshield I can take care of. That's his day job.
You know, the other thing I don't like is Phoenix. I don't like.
That was cool though.
I thought it was cool, but But again, this is the problem. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna do this
They're
again.
gonna shoehorn Phoenix in again. I like if you want to
there's
do the
only, like-
Phoenix, send her into space. Do it like they did
They're
in the
not
TV
gonna do
show.
that far.
It's too weird,
Introduce
man.
like Gladiator and all those other like awesome like Scott Summers' dad and like all these cool things. Like
Yeah.
it would be so much more fun that way
Yeah.
to do it like a Guardians of the Galaxy, and then she gets the Phoenix her powers and this and that instead of like she just has it in her.
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
I thought Phoenix was something that's something she doesn't get till later on.
yeah, well, I mean, I didn't read all the X-Men comics, but I watched all the cartoons, and that's how it happens in the cartoons. And yeah, it's just more fun that way. And because then Jean Grey was just like a telepath, she was not like super powerful until she became the conduit for the.
But in
Phoenix.
these X-Men movies, she was always like, she's a class 9. Remember, like when Eric
Level
and
9,000.
yeah, she's a class 9 mutant. Oh, she's super powerful, even more powerful than either of us. So like, they've always seen the fact that Jean Grey is one
She's
of the
named
most
Marvel Girl.
powerful.
She's got to be pretty powerful if her name's Marvel Girl.
Yeah,
right?
the
Named
most
after the
powerful
company.
superheroes out there, and I get that. But to bust your nut on like Phoenix so early,
I know.
That's
but
the
it
problem with
was.
these
I mean, you
movies.
gotta admit, it was really cool.
It was cool. It
gotta
was
admit,
cool
it
to
was
see,
cool.
and
It was
and,
cool.
and they lay the foundation because he says, "Okay, this was. I see it.
Yeah, Apocalypse as he was dying, he's like, "Oh, I see." Yeah.
This is what it. This is the actual being. You know,
Yeah.
this is the real. This is not the false god." Okay, another thing. Speaking of things we didn't enjoy, a lot of stuff is again rushed in this movie. The death of Havoc, just
First of all, he's like, "Wreak havoc." Oh, I'm like, "Oh, it's your name.
Yeah.
It's havoc." Oh.
no, but it's just like
Right.
like he's like he's like I think I got everybody out. You know what I mean? Like it's just there's no like impact. Like he was pretty much a big character. Like
Yeah,
the
I don't
first
think all the
He's
other
dead,
movies, yeah.
though.
maybe
I doubt he's dead.
they'll just do another Days of Future Past and take care of all this.
No, I just like they'll
No,
be
he's
like,
dead. He's dead.
You think he's dead?
Yeah.
I think he's dead.
He's doing MacGruber now, man.
MacGyver.
Or MacGyver. MacGruber.
No, I just I don't know the way because like back to the TV shows,
Yeah.
they don't like he always thinks his brother was dead, but then like he finds him again and then he's like reunited with his brother.
Right.
So I think that's kind of
I enjoyed the okay. So now that we've talked about the things we didn't like, let's talk about the things that we loved or really really liked. For me, I like the fact that they made Cyclops cool.
Yeah.
They did make
Like,
Seeing
Cyclops
his
cool.
visor at the end, I'm like, "Oh, that's cool."
He didn't seem like Soldier Boy.
No, he
just-
didn't,
yeah.
and he actually kind of played up like let's get out. Like he played the Wolverine part.
Right.
Which they could do an interesting arc with that particular character to show why he becomes more of the leader. Like maybe there's a situation where both of the leaders go down and he has to, no one's ready to step up and he steps up.
As long as Mystique isn't there to step up, then that's fine.
Yeah, but I mean, his origin was awesome. I love the idea that he's like, "You winking at my girl?" And he's like, "No, my eyes are burning." Like,
Right.
I love that. And I love the glasses look cool.
Yeah.
Although I'm like,
They were like Ray-Bans, but with like the shades. It was cool.
yeah. And
80s, yeah.
I liked the visor at the end. That's probably one of, and he has the band across his chest. Like he's just good
The
job.
ham-fisted him and Gene though, it's like, yeah, we get it. They fall in love. It's like right off the bat, just all the looks and
I
stuff.
liked-
You're like, oh.
You know the books getting knocked over that
Yeah,
reminded me
she
of the
picked them
Spider-Man
back
thing.
up. Yeah,
when
yeah.
she grabs them all and then she's in his head and she's like, I can't see, watch where you're going. I can't. Like, I actually thought that interaction was decent for as ham-fisted as it was going to be. I thought they
Yeah.
did at least a good enough job. Where he's like, "It's okay, I have glasses on." She's like, "No, they're scared of me, bro. Like they ain't
Right.
scared of you." And like the scene with him learning his powers with the tree. My grandfather planted that tree when
Right.
he was 5 years old. I used to.
I like when he gets in the glasses. Like, let's just look over here in case the glasses don't work.
Right.
Like that's why they make Cyclops to be this ultimate, badass, and that's cool. And he's not a soldier boy, and he's interesting.
His power is super awesome.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he's super strong.
All he has to do is open his eyes.
That is pretty crazy. It's really good aim. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And even they show at the fight at the end, you actually see it through his red, like him screaming the optic blast out.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Again, I think that's one of the things that I really enjoyed because I was like, good job. That's a character I normally don't like actively dislike, and I really enjoyed him. Like when Marsden played him, he was playing the soldier boy jerk.
Right.
Jock gets
Yeah,
the girl.
nobody likes that
Nobody
guy.
likes him. So that's what I really, really enjoyed. What did you guys like?
I think I liked, and if they do another one with these same characters, I would like to see the whole team together, but like half the team together, like because the team felt very much like the '80s team that we loved growing up.
Yeah.
So seeing them together, seeing Nightcrawler,
Nightcrawler was great.
Nightcrawler's cool.
seeing all these, your favorite characters looking like they should look, fighting together and stuff. I wish it had Storm on their team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather see them all fighting Magneto than really fighting Apocalypse. I don't really care about Apocalypse, and I don't care about Psylocke at all either. But mainly Storm. I wish she was on the regular team.
Yeah.
And she will now. Now we're going to be in the 90s. Oh, the internet! Whoa!
But yeah, when they're in the plane and stuff, I don't know. It just those were just like so retro.
Oh, we got
feeling.
some flight suits, and they all fit, and they all look like
Yeah,
X-Men
but that's fine.
uniforms.
It's a movie. I'm not gonna that part.
No,
I don't
I know,
really
no.
care about. But
It's a logic stuff, but it's a comic book movie.
But it's cool, the one thing about the team, because they kind of have to be careful, because like some of those actors are like Jennifer Lawrence isn't that old, you know what I
Right.
mean? But she's supposed to be like, well, I remember when you guys. I'm like, you're like 6 years older than these actors. Like they kind of run into a problem with that because these actors aren't that
Maybe they
young.
should take a break.
And the
for 10 years.
timeline, this started in the 70s, so they're like, it's been how many years since then? Like 17 years?
Like Rebecca Romaine Stamos, like wow, looking good. If you were born in like the 50s, apparently, because she's probably like 20. Jennifer Lawrence plays like a 20-year-old in the 70s, right? So like,
Yeah,
But I
something
mean,
like
Mystique could just be like,
That's
I
true,
don't
she's
feel like
just-
aging anymore.
that's true. That's, I suppose.
Peel it
Take my
back.
young form.
She's the one who has an excuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nightcrawler was really good.
Amazing. Nightcrawler should be in every movie. Just every movie.
It's fun.
And
to
that's
watch.
another one too. When they threw him in the
Bam,
cage, and he
bam,
like he
bam.
doesn't. That's another thing he doesn't really know. He's kind of learning his powers.
Yeah. So cool. The end part was great with him trying to flick on and flick off, and he couldn't do it. I just love that. I'm Nightcrawler needs to be utilized. He needs to get his own video game first of all, like just a Nightcrawler game. That mechanic of just like, why not?
Yeah,
And they do such a cool job. Like, I remember there was some video where it was like every time Nightcrawler does that, it stinks. So everyone was like, "Oh God, please stop!" What does that black dust smell like? What did you really like about the movie, Joe? Like one particular thing that stands out in your mind? Or is there anything?
I mean, just overall, just a solid.
But you gave it a
horrible.
good.
That's a horrible.
No.
answer.
I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying overall.
But I'm
it's a
saying, what
solid,
did you
fun movie.
like when you think of oh, that was awesome when that happened? Is there anything in your mind?
The Phoenix thing was really cool.
Seeing Sansa finally get hers?
Yeah, she's fine, John.
Yeah, the whole time. Okay, by the way, I know you don't watch Game of Thrones, but the character
Wah, wah.
Sophie Turner, she plays a character who's kind of this. She's very childish and what would be the word? She just always she never picks up on like all the terrible things that people will end up doing. I don't want to say she sees she's naive, I guess is the best. Young, naive girl. And in this she kind of plays that same character. She's trying to learn her power. She's young, but then you see the moment of like, oh, unleash it. And I actually like the part when Professor X says, you know why you won't ever win? 'Cause you're alone and I'm not. Like, that was perfect. That's exactly the whole point of X-Men, is that we will, in the message that he says to everybody, if you're powerful, then protect those that are less powerful than you. Like, those are the moments where I was just like, this is X-Men. This is Professor X. This is Jean Grey. Like, she's walking out and she walks off the steps and just is levitating.
Yeah.
Like Chris Angel.
Yeah, it was awesome. Believe.
Actually, the part that kind of stood out was when they when Apocalypse brought Magneto back to Auschwitz.
Yeah.
And was like kind of taught him, like giving him more powers. Like, no, feel the ground, move the earth. You can feel the metal in the earth. The whole part where he's like doing it all over the planet is kind of dumb. But just in that moment, which was kind of cool. And obviously, I know you don't like the flashbacks, the movies during that time.
That one's
but-
okay because
No,
at
that
least
one's
it's,
the one that bothered me the most because in the other, they already flashed back to that in the other movie.
Right.
How many times are we flashing back to that?
gotta keep showing it.
We know.
Yeah, we know. But
But that was a cool part in the movie. And yeah.
I like. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, why does Apocalypse need
Four
Magneto
Horsemen.
if he can just change matter?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
But not metal.
he's got stuff to do.
Metal's not matter.
Well, they were saying like it's affecting the magnetic field of the Earth, which is more Magneto's department,
Yeah,
and he's using that to.
It's always the problem with a big baddie. If
Yeah,
you go too big and he's
like,
too powerful, it's like,
I hate
why doesn't he
going-
just make everyone disappear right now?
I hate going back to the negative. And I don't know. Maybe you can explain this, but like they show the global devastation that Magneto is causing all over the planet. Of course, famous landmarks.
Yeah, of course. Got to show
There
this.
goes Australia. One of those.
Right.
Sydney, the opera house, I think is what it is.
Yeah. So there goes landmarks. But like, did anybody die? I'm sure
I
a lot
noticed that too.
of
A lot of people died.
Whole buildings in Egypt are being transformed into sand. To build the pyramid, all this stuff.
No,
It's
there's
like-
definitely a lot of
No,
people
I
dying.
noticed
It's like,
that
Magneto,
too,
you
like-
did that. If you didn't have problems then, you definitely have problems now because you killed millions of people.
The bridge that like was getting
Yeah.
broken and stuff.
You see the
like,
cars
I see
flipping
the
up?
cars flipping, but I'm like, but there were no people. Like you could, like
Yeah.
there was no.
Well, I was waiting for them at
They
the
didn't
end
bother.
when the like all the devastation's over. Was like I was waiting for them to be like, "Wow, all this happened, but no injuries or deaths." Like I was just waiting for that to happen.
No,
like
I
a
think
Marvel
after
movie.
the Wolverine scene, you know, I was like, okay, they're okay with just blunt killing everybody.
die.
Like they're not Marvel MCU. They're not. They're okay with just straight up just mowing down people because you don't see that really in MCU. You
Yeah,
see
that's
even
true.
the stairwell scene in Civil War. You know what I mean? It's throwing guys. You know, they all live, and he even catches them. Don't kill anybody. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And that's fine. I'm okay with that. Like if you want to balance the between kind of the dark and brooding and the popcorny, you know.
Here's another inconsistency. Not to just crap all over this movie. It's actually a really good.
It is a
movie.
good
No, like I
movie,
said,
but
There are, you know,
there
it's
are
easy
problems.
to do this in like superhero.
Hey, you know what's
movies.
good to know? We're not Marvel fanboys because I honestly I wanted to really like this movie, and there are real big problems with it. I think generally though, like I said, it's good. But go ahead.
Okay.
After seeing like early reviews and stuff, I did not have high expectations for this movie, but it was better than I thought. A lot better.
So X2,
Yes.
Wolverine in front of this house, and he gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
And he falls to the ground.
Yeah.
And then the bullet falls out and he heals and he stands back
Yeah.
up. Okay. In this movie, people are taking machine guns and just tearing him, and he not even slowed down for
No, not
a
even a
second.
second. No.
He's like Weapon X mode. He's like super animalistic and stuff.
It's that headset.
Yeah, that's like an old VR.
It's the 80s VR.
I
man.
guess that makes more sense. It's
a Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
it, is
that's,
the
it looks
80s.
bad. It's supposed to look bad.
Yeah.
Maybe they passed and they were like, that looks like terrible 80s technology. Like, perfect.
I don't know why. Why didn't they have him in the tube?
They already done that.
Where he breaks out. Ah! They did that in the last Wolverine
That's
movie.
kind of how it works.
I know, but they gotta.
So they're like, oh well, I thought that was canon.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. It all got erased. So all
Yeah,
of
the
this,
way he was
Oh, so his
transformed
new
into
origin.
Wolverine is different. Yeah, this is his new
Really?
origin.
that's the part that and that's why, like
if
I said,
it's
some
not
of the
Comic book movie, bro. I don't think
What if
too
it's
much
not
about it.
animanium now? It's just like some other less
Steel, just steel.
stainless.
gold.
It's all rusted. It's
We had to
copper.
save costs, you
It's
know.
copper,
we
and it
invented
turns
new metal.
turns green like the statue.
Unobtainium.
Yeah.
Unobtainium.
But yeah, like I said, I think the one thing I will say about this movie, not to harp on some of the stuff I didn't enjoy, it seems like this is one of those, not to hate on your favorite guys, both of your Independence Day. A lot
How
more
dare you.
destruction and less like fighting. Like I want to see them fight.
Yeah.
And it's just like, no, we're going to spend like 20 minutes showing like the bottom of the
CG
ocean.
destruction.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. What was the point of showing that submarine get lifted up? It did it even make it out of the bottom of the ocean? I never saw it.
It wasn't
Oh,
the boat.
Yeah, just showing all the stuff that he can lift. I mean, it's cool to see the extent of his power, but it's like, I get it. He has, and then, but one of the other things that I absolutely loved, the Quicksilver scene. I mean, come on.
Of course, yeah. It was
See,
the best thing in the movie.
I disagree.
Why?
I think it was shoehorned. I think they did it just because
Well, they're like, we know we loved it. And, yeah, Days of
and then it
Futures
was like
Past.
just saving the people to me was not as cool as like the way he arranged everything in the last one, so all the bullets went to the right places. It was such a cooler scene.
Yeah.
And in this one, he was just saving people, and it was like it wasn't bad. And I don't think they picked the right song. I didn't really like the song that went with.
Oh, they
this
went with the
time.
rhythmics? Yeah.
I like that.
Well, it
last
makes
one was,
sense
like,
in the
perfect.
context of what he would be listening to. Now, here's the plot hole. That song would be playing at like 1/100th of that speed, right? Unless he's playing all of his music very, very fast. Yeah, you know what I mean? Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Technically, right? He'd be.
I mean, I didn't know we were listening to it in his.
He's got headphones in. That's his whole
Well, maybe
thing.
everything.
Remember, he remember in the movie
that's
he put,
connected
Yeah.
to him moves at his speed.
well, remember because I always and they keep
Yeah,
the
he could
continuity
have
every
speed
time
field.
every time he grabs somebody, he puts his
Yeah.
hand on the back of their head because
Yeah, I
he's
like
like,
that they keep
"This
that.
is gonna."
Just snapping their neck.
So, I wonder how he figured that out the first one. He's like, "Hey, I got this cool."
You're dead.
See, the scene I liked was him better than that was when he's fighting Apocalypse. That felt very much like the Hulk
Yeah.
Loki thing, like,
Yeah.
where he's just kicking his ass.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But to me, the other one, it just felt like,
I liked it.
it was all right.
Yeah, and the last battle wasn't that great. It was like I said, it's just kind of this.
Everyone unite, kill the big bad
it's
guy.
so paint by numbers. I mean, I you know they're gonna win. Obviously, I do not like how he lost his hair. It's kind of like really.
Yeah, I thought
He looks okay though.
thought
You
it'd
were
be
worried
better
about
if,
the way
like-
that he looked. I thought he looked okay.
I think it'd be better if, like, the Oscar Isaac at the beginning of the movie had hair. Then it's like, oh, okay, you go bald when you go through the transference.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
I
would
get
make
you.
more sense.
Yeah. So that's our spoiler review.
and
Wait,
then
you want some? Okay, hold on.
One more thing.
Okay.
The girl stumbling in at just the moment, and then, and then like the rug being opened at that time of day just happened to let the sunlight in to wake
Like
up.
they never did
like
that
that
before.
never happened. Like no one had ever moved the rug at 2.
I know.
Like-
It's called plot, Jordan.
I know, but
Gotta
come
move the
on.
plot forward.
you know what
There
they
needs
need
to
to
be
do?
something
I know
bigger
this is
than
they need to, and I hope they do this. I don't think they have the balls to do it, but put Deadpool in these X-Men movies. Why not?
Well,
Or him make reference to all this stuff in his next movie. Be like, remember that time when like the whole world was being destroyed by Apocalypse? Where I should have been helping. You know what I mean? Or something like,
I think they will when Wolverine's not around anymore. I
Yeah,
think
yeah, I
Deadpool
think
is
he will
going to
too.
fill in with Wolverine because Wolverine's such a staple.
Yeah.
But he's only got one more movie, 2 more movies.
well, are
He's
they
definitely Wolverine 3 is going to be his last stint as Wolverine.
Yeah,
okay?
so-
The last thing we'll talk about before we wrap up the spoiler part. You wanted to talk about the joke and the non-spoiler.
Oh yeah, they were walking out of Return of the Jedi, making
such-
jokes, fighting about Empire. Empire's obviously better, and they were like, "It's always true. Like the third movies are always the worst."
and
It's
they're
like,
making
horror,
reference to X3.
yeah,
That's-
and itself,
Well, and
probably,
itself, 'cause
Right.
this is the third one. yeah.
Right.
and
but
it's the
that's-
worst out of the 3.
And that's what's. I mean, that's you got to be careful with your joking, right?
I mean, it's true.
Fiction, you know what I mean?
Oh, another good joke in the movie. These 3 movies really know where to put their F word in this movie. Like,
Yeah, they
every
do.
single time they say it's like it's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
what did they say?
That's when
Who the F are
Apocalypse.
you?
Yeah,
When
when
they show up,
Apocalypse shows up.
Magneto.
Who the F are
Oh,
you? And
yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
yeah, this. They always they like I said, the Bryan Singer does a good job with the X-Men movies. He's never done a bad X-Men movie. I'll say that. Whereas X3 and the Wolverines are the most recent Wolverine was okay.
Yeah, that was good.
But let's actually get
No,
into.
was that the samurai one?
Hold on, let's
Yeah, the Wolverine.
yeah,
No,
we'll get
that's
into
not
let's
good,
okay,
was
so we're done with spoiler territory. I want to talk about where this fits in and kind of your guys' opinion or just general opinions about the X-Men movies because there are, 8 of them.